Good morning, citizens of America. This is the U.S. Citizen Journal, Daily Brief for September 9, 2025 AD. I'm here to bring you the latest news from around the world. Let's dive into today's top stories. U.S. high school seniors' math and reading scores hit record lows. American high school senior scores on major math and reading tests fell to their lowest levels on record, according to results released Tuesday by the U.S. Education Department. 12th graders' average math score was the worst since the current test began in 2005, and reading was below any point since that assessment started in 1992. The share of 12th graders who were proficient slid by 2 percentage points between 2019 and 2024 to 35% in reading and 22% in math. There also were drops in the proportion of students who were able to reach at least a basic level of performance, a tier below proficiency. The results are from tests that are part of the National Assessment of Educational Progress, administered to tens of thousands of students in early 2024. Republicans highlight fatal stabbing video to accuse Democrats of being soft on crime. Mega influencers are drawing repeated attention to violent attacks to elevate the issue of urban crime and accuse mainstream media of undercovering shocking cases. Shocking video of the fatal August 22 knife attack on 23-year-old Irina Zarutska on a light rail car in Charlotte, North Carolina, dominated weekend conversation on Trump-friendly social media. North Carolina Senate candidate Michael Whatley, a former chair of the national GOP, invoked the case to accuse his Democratic opponent, Governor Roy Cooper, of being soft on crime. Zarutska recently arrived in Charlotte from Ukraine to escape the war there, the Charlotte Observer reports. The suspect, DeCarlos Brown Jr., 34, was charged with first-degree murder. His criminal record includes charges of armed robbery, felony larceny, breaking and entering, and shoplifting, according to jail records cited by WBTV. Whatley wrote on X that in June 2020, Cooper signed a soft-on-crime executive order, and just 3 months later, Brown was released from prison. The executive order established a racial profiling task force and sought to reduce systemic racism. But it didn't call for the early release of suspects. Cooper's campaign accused Whatley of lying and said, Roy Cooper prosecuted violent criminals and drug dealers, increased the penalties for violence against law enforcement, and kept thousands of criminals off the streets and behind bars. Whatley spokesperson Danielle Alvarez countered that Brown was released from prison early, just as Cooper was spending more time talking about fighting racism and less about keeping career criminals like Brown locked up. Lachlan Murdoch cements control of media empire with $3.3 billion family deal. The question of succession has hung over Lachlan Murdoch his entire life. It has finally, definitively been answered. The family's empire, built over more than 70 years by his father, Rupert, is his to control for probably decades to come. Thanks to a $3.3 billion deal he reached with his 3 oldest siblings, Mr. Murdoch will be able to oversee the family's media business until at least 2050. The agreement immediately cements Mr. Murdoch, 54, as one of the world's most powerful men. And it means that his companies, which own Fox News, the New York Post, and the Wall Street Journal, among other properties, are likely to maintain their firm conservative tilt. Keeping that ideological bent has been a top priority for his father, who has preferred his elder son as his permanent successor over the 3 less politically conservative siblings. Now the global Murdoch kingdom will fall under the control of an intensely private former philosophy student, a New Yorker turned proud Australian who transplanted his family to Sydney, and a digital enthusiast who has pushed his father's analog media business into the realms of podcasts and streaming platforms. Anthropic reaches $1.5 billion settlement with publishers in major AI copyright case. Anthropic, the artificial intelligence company behind the popular chatbot Claude, will pay $1.5 billion to settle a class action lawsuit brought by book publishers and authors, according to documents filed in federal court Friday. The settlement allows Anthropic to avoid trial over claims that it violated copyrights by downloading millions of books without permission and storing digital copies of them. The company will not admit wrongdoing. The deal represents a significant victory for copyright holders in a high-stakes legal struggle between human creators and AI firms. New Sino-Russian gas pipeline deal will reshape global energy market. China and Russia have signed an agreement to build the Power of Siberia 2 pipeline, a huge gas project that could reshape global energy flows as both countries seek an alternative to Donald Trump's U.S.-led global order. Russia announced the deal as President Vladimir Putin met his Chinese counterpart, Xi Jinping, in Beijing on Tuesday. Russia's pipeline gas monopoly, Gazprom, said the two sides had signed a legally binding memorandum of construction after years of stalled negotiations. The deal signaled a significant shift in the global gas market. Once built, in the early 2030s, the 50 billion cubic meter a year Power of Siberia 2 pipeline will run east from the gas fields that once served Europe. It also gives China an alternative to importing liquefied natural gas, LNG, from the US, Qatar, and Australia. The project may change the economics for companies currently considering whether to invest further in building LNG export terminals, particularly in the US, said Sophie Corbeau, a global research scholar at the Center on Global Energy Policy at Columbia University. September 9, 2007, NFL nabs New England Patriots in Spygate scandal. On September 9, 2007, the NFL catches the New England Patriots illegally videotaping coaching signals of the New York Jets from an unauthorized location in a Week 1 game in East Rutherford, New Jersey, a scandal the media soon dubs Spygate. That's all for today's brief. Join us again tomorrow for more news and updates. This show was produced by Greg Lovin, wishing you a great day ahead. Please follow and rate us on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or Spotify. It helps other listeners find us. Stay informed and ad astra per astra.